and start the game themselves. Right now, you're just imprinting them that that's the one that they're starting.
Touch. Touch. Told you.
So as soon as the rear paws touch, you want to tell them
Steve?
yes and
Yes.
be able to throw the treat
Yes.
for it.
Steve. I need to bring a notebook.
Yep. So lure him with a piece of food so he sees exactly what it is that you want. Yes.
Cheeto.
Turn
Yes.
around with his nose and then. And let him out again. Yes. Make sure you throw it for him. Gotta chase it.
Oh, okay. Throw it in the air.
No, on the ground. Once you turn it around. And then just point to where it is. Good. And you're
Let me know
gonna
when
do
you
it
get your
again.
YouTube channel set up with all these on.
I will.
Okay.
I'll sell it to you. Subscription's $100 a year.
There you go.
To you.
You just got to get them on there, though.
I got last week on there, didn't I?
Yes, he did. He
Okay.
did great.
Good.
It was super.
What's the
Yep,
channel
show 'em
called?
where it is.
I think
Good.
RCA Dog Sport Foundation 2019, I
Okay.
think.
I'll look for it.
So can you go right to YouTube and get that?
Yeah.
Because you sent them email
Yeah,
to me, but I can go right on YouTube and do that?
yeah. Should be able to.
Okay.
Nice.
What do I pick up?
Lovely. Good. That's skills finished for him. So you can work the same skills, the running and the stop in the same training session. That is fine because eventually they're both going to have separate cues. And right now we're using two different items. Now, if you don't have a yoga mat, you don't feel like going out to buy one, and you don't think you're going to do agility in the future, and you're just tolerating my foundation exercises, you can use anything else that you want. If you use a towel or a blanket, the problem with using a towel is every time they spin around on it, they bunch it all up, and then you've got to stop and flatten it back out again. So it's not real convenient. Anything that you're using for a 2-on 2-off bin or whatever you want to call that, the height of that you want to make sure is that the bucket is not taller than your dog's hocks on the rear feet, because they got it. You want them to be able to eventually back up and step on it. So you don't want them coming up like this to find it. You want them to be able to just swing back and put it on there. And if it gets too tall, later on they can learn to do a handstand and kick their feet all the way up a wall. But right now I just want them to learn to put their feet on it. So keep your bucket hot, tight, or lower. And it could be low as long as it has enough depth where they can perceive that they have their feet on two different surfaces and they're a little bit elevated. So remember, this one you're paying front feet, then you're paying rear feet. This one you're paying them for essentially that fly ball or swimmer's turn, front feet, rear feet, and then throwing it. So that's going to help them with that skill so they understand where they are stepping. So I'm going to check these off as well. And obedience for both competition, should you go that far, but pet obedience first, because they got to be, under control when they are out and about. So we are going to go through a couple of canine good citizen skills because it is part of the program as well. And so we worked a little bit last week with showing your dog that if you bring them next to a person, you will feed them, type of a thing. So what we have to do is we have to advance that and start to get them to understand what a greeting is like. And the greeting involves me handing you something and then you giving it to the dog. So toys are super for this, but so is food. And what happens is you would give me your dog's toy, and you would walk up with your dog, and you can use food because you're teaching. You would, at first, you would stop your dog in any angle to me that you want to pay for the first couple of times. So let's say you came up next to me and paid your dog, behind me, paid your dog. Eventually, you're going to bring your dog around in front of me, and to respect your dog's personal space as well as the other people, and we all know that people don't always respect your space. They're like in all over your dog. When you come around to the front, you want to stop what would be a handshake distance away. So dogs can get funny about other people touching their handlers. They don't like it. Some are like guardy about it. But if I have your toy and your dog has stopped and sat, and then I hand it to you in what would be a handshake, and then you wait 2 or 3 seconds, and then you say, do your dog get it? And you start to tug, or you throw it in a direction away from the person, and you play. The dog has a reason to, one, relieve the stress of having to be in somebody else's personal space. If you do not have a toy for it, you can use food for it, but then if you, after I hand you the food, you want to feed your dog once in position where they are, and then you want to release them and you want to back away and go somewhere else. Like, so if that mat was the person and I already had done good dog, and I bring my dog here, good, and like the dog is neutral to that person, I would stop. There would be the handshake, and that person's transferring me either food or toy. I'd feed in position, and then I would be like, yes, and I would back up and bring the dog in this direction to play or to feed again. So I'm not going to pick on the ends this time. So I'm going to do Quinny first, and then I'm going to go down, and then I'm going to go back up to Aida, because that ends always second. So Quinn is first. So if he has a toy, you're going to bring a toy. And you're going to give me the toy. And then you're going to have some foodies. And then you can bring them in first. And you're first going to neutralize him to me by approaching me from any angle you want and feeding him with him near me. Yep.
And so if I approach from the back, he's going to be on my left, and I'm next to you, or is he next to you?
It depends on what you want.
Okay. All right. Ready? Good.
If you think he needs more of a buffer, then he's not really a jump on people kind of dog. And I would just feed first before you ask him to sit. Like, I would feed for proximity, and then if you want to ask him to sit, he sits and he gets together. Because you told him to sit like 4 times, and you could have said, oops, and he's been there. So, stop. Only tell them 1 time if you're going to tell them to sit. So her mistake was that when he got next to me, if she fed him a couple of times before asking him to sit, he would have been more comfortable. Good.
Stop.
Nice. Good. Now you can try to approach me from the front,
That's what
leaving
gets tricky.
leaving a handshake distance.
And do I ask him to sit there, or just?
Feed him when you reach your spot first, just like you did there. And then if he focuses on you, ask him to sit. So on that one for him, she lost connection with him, and he decided to pull towards me, so you might end up luring that. Or at least feeding every step. So feed there. You're okay there. And now back that up with a sit, even though he's sitting. Good. And then you're gonna reach for this. And then you're gonna play. Good, good boy. Good boy. And play with him a little bit because you're gonna do it. You're gonna do the whole sequence again.
Okay.
So first, get your dog neutral to the person. Make sure they're gonna eat next to them. Then make sure they can eat next to them, and then sit. If you don't have any attention, don't just start giving commands that the dog's going to ignore. So the first time she came up next to me, she fed him and she was like, sit. And he was like, no, I can't sit. And then eventually he sat, but she had to tell him like 4 or 5 times. And he didn't sit willingly, he sat because she was badgering him. You want to make sure that they are ready to do the command. They're puppy. Ready? Good. And you're going to re-neutralize him to around me. Okay, let's go. Come over to my side before you move in front of me. You don't have enough value in him yet, so you need to come back to my side first. Good. And I would do that again with them. It's okay if they glance at me. I just don't want them to jump on me. So she tried to get us sit there and he didn't sit, so she told him oops and she took him away. So if he won't sit there, she's not going to ask him to sit out there. He's got to get that correct first.
Good boy. I have to be some.
Okay, you can do that. Oh, you mean outside?
Yeah.
Okay, then take him out and we'll work him again in a bit.